I was watching David Goggins, I was watching Iman Gadzhi, Andrew Tate, I was watching everybody talk about building discipline, but they weren't actually teaching you how to build it. With all of these people, I wasn't able to relate to them. I wasn't, some world champion kickboxer who all of a sudden started investing in casinos and such. I wasn't a 350-pound guy who then out of nowhere lost weight, ran marathons to then join the Navy SEALs. All I was a guy who was on self-improvement, who did good habits for years, started building a business, and out of nowhere couldn't do anything. Chances are you're probably feeling similarly to this, or you have felt this way in the past. And you might have thought, I'm just in a rut right now, dude. Don't worry about it. What it is you're lazy. I was lazy too. And so I can understand the excuses that you've given yourself. I'm just in a rut, or I just haven't built discipline yet. When are you going to build the discipline? When are you going to get out of the rut? Just admit to yourself that you're being lazy right now and that you need to get out of this laziness. This is how I started getting over my laziness, is I first admitted that I was lazy. The first part of dropping an addiction or solving a mental health issue is first admitting it. So first you need to admit to yourself that you are being lazy right now. You might just say that you're in a rut. But if you say that you're in a rut, you will not do anything to get out of it. If you admit that you're lazy, now you know that you're lazy. And now you know the opposite of lazy is hard work or discipline or whatever you think it is in your mind. And so right now you're at point A, you need to get to point B. Now we can start building a bridge to point B because you've admitted that you're at point A. Admitting that you're lazy is the first step to actually getting over your laziness and becoming disciplined. And this is what I did, is I became lazy. I accepted that I was lazy. And then eventually, I became disciplined. But how did I actually do that? I picked 3 good habits. And I say 3 because there's some rule of 3. Honestly, I don't really know what it is, but I know it's a thing. And people like to focus on 3 things rather than 6. It's a lot easier to do 3 things than it is to do 6. 6 options that I used were gratitude journaling, thought journaling, reading the Bible, praying to God, working out, and just eating a little bit better every single day. And these are all things that eventually I did build up to. But at first, what I did was I just focused on the easy ones. Gratitude journaling, thought journaling, and praying. That's all I did. Eventually, I integrated reading the Bible. So what you need to do is pick 3 habits that are easy to do. That's the key. You don't want them to be hard to do. They might be good habits, but if they're hard to do, you will not do them since you're being lazy right now. With these 3 good habits, what it's going to do is it's going to build your consistency. And so building consistency is a key part in discipline. Because if you are doing the hard things, which is building discipline, doing the hard things that you don't want to do every day, that builds discipline. But if you don't have yet the consistency to even do the things you want to do, then how are you going to do the things you don't want to do? So first, like I said, pick 3 good habits that are easy and that you genuinely want to do. And start doing those every single day. Something super simple. Pick something that's going to take at maximum 30 minutes a day, because you won't be able to build that consistency yet. Because right now, you're probably sitting in your room, watching TikToks all day like I was, playing on your computer all day like I was, and there's water bottles all over your room. So take a second, admit that you're lazy, and pick 3 good habits that you know you will do every single day, and start doing them. So then what I did was I picked 1 bad habit, and I replaced it. But I don't mean in the general way that people talk about when they're referring to atomic habits or the power of habit. What they do is they're like, okay, well, you smoke cigarettes? Okay, cool. So work out instead. I'm like, how the fuck does that correlate? Like, honestly, how does that correlate at all? If I smoke cigarettes, I don't want to go work out because I want to smoke my cigarette. And working out is not going to help that craving of smoking. So what I did was I was really scrolling on social media like 12 hours a day. Like, genuinely, I looked at my screen time. It was like 12 to 15 hours a day every single day. I was basically on my phone all day long. And so instead of watching TikTok or going on Instagram, watching Instagram Reels, I started watching YouTube videos. It was simple change, but watching podcasts every day, watching long form YouTube videos every day started giving me that discipline to sit there and, write down the things that Andrew Huberman's saying. Even if I don't understand what the fuck he's saying, I'm writing it down because I've replaced that bad habit now. And now it's increasing my focus. It's allowing me to feel better. It's allowing me to not get a dopamine hit every 5 seconds. I'm being rewarded for hard things rather than easy things. You might hear Andrew Tate say, like, consuming content's for brokies. But if you right now are spending 12 hours a day on your phone, I highly doubt you'll be able to just stop consuming content. So instead of starting to create content out of nowhere when you have no discipline. You need to first build that discipline by picking that bad habit like scrolling on social media and then changing it to watching YouTube videos. It's that simple. And you can, change it to reading or whatever you want. But I knew that I wasn't going to read a book if I was watching TikToks 12 hours a day. I knew that I would still watch YouTube all day, but at least I'm learning something, and at least I'm not getting dopamine hits off of nothing. At least I'm sitting there paying attention to this YouTube video, writing down the key points of it, and learning from it. And that was building my discipline. And so you need to just pick one bad habit and make it less bad, basically, is what you're doing. You're not really replacing it with a good habit. You're just making it less bad. And eventually, if you want to get rid of that habit, you can easily, because you have gotten rid of the addiction and just replaced it with a habit. So get rid of the addiction, replace it with a habit, and then eventually quit that addiction altogether. So again, the real first step is admitting you're lazy. And if you are admitting to yourself that you're lazy today, I applaud you. If you want to drop in the comments, I'm lazy, then I want you to write a reply and say, I will not be lazy. And then give yourself a date that you will no longer be lazy and where you will actually do these good habits. And I'll literally go in the comments and I'll send the clapping emoji because I genuinely applaud you, man, for admitting that you're lazy, picking those 3 good habits and working on them, and then picking the one bad habit and making it less bad. Because you are on the path to success, even though it looks like failure right now. And if you want to help more people stop being lazy and actually overcome their laziness, like and share this video because it will actually help. And if you like this content, if you want to continue to master yourself rather than just self-improve, then go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I'll be putting 4 videos out a week on how to master yourself and not just improve yourself. And remember, always live life to the fullest and praise God.